IELTS Speaking Part 3 Media and Entertainment.
How has the media changed in the last 20 years?
Media has shifted from traditional outlets, such as newspapers and television, to digital platforms and social media. Today, information spreads instantly through smartphones, which has democratized access but also increased the risk of misinformation. This transformation has made media more interactive, but also more difficult to regulate.
Do you think people rely too much on social media for news?
Yes, many people now treat social media as their primary news source. While it offers convenience and immediacy, it often lacks credibility since anyone can post unverified content. This reliance can create echo chambers where people only see opinions that match their own, which is potentially harmful for critical thinking.
Should governments control the media?
Government should regulate media to prevent harmful content, such as hate speech or fake news, but full control would be dangerous. A free press is essential for democracy because it holds authorities accountable. Striking a balance between regulation and freedom is therefore crucial.
How do movies and television influence people's behavior?
They can shape opinions, values, and even lifestyle choices. For example, films often influence fashion trends or inspire tourism. On the negative side, exposure to violence or unrealistic body images can affect mental health. The media has a subtle but powerful effect on behavior.
Why do you think celebrities have so much influence today?
The rise of social media has given celebrities direct access to millions of followers. They are seen not only as entertainers, but also as role models, brand ambassadors, and even political influencers. Their lifestyles are aspirational, which explains their disproportionate impact on society.
Do you think reality TV shows are beneficial or harmful?
Reality shows can provide entertainment and sometimes showcase talent, but many promote superficial values such as fame and wealth without hard work. They often exaggerate conflict for drama, which sends the wrong message to young viewers. Overall, I believe the harm outweighs the benefits.
How does advertising influence consumer behavior?
Advertising shapes consumer choices by appealing to emotions rather than logic. People often buy products not because they need them, but because ads create a sense of identity or status. This manipulation can drive economic growth, but also promotes materialism and waste.
Should children be exposed to advertising?
Ideally, no. Children are too young to differentiate between entertainment and marketing. Advertising to children exploits their vulnerability and encourages unhealthy habits, such as eating junk food. Regulations should limit or ban advertising directed at young audiences.
Why do people enjoy watching sports on television?
Sports provide excitement, drama, and a sense of community. Even if people are not physically present at a stadium, watching live broadcasts creates shared emotional experiences. For many, it's not just about the game, but about belonging to a wider fan community.
How important is entertainment in people's lives?
Entertainment is essential because it offers relaxation, reduces stress, and fosters social connections. In a world where work and responsibilities dominate, entertainment provides balance. It is not just a luxury, but a fundamental human need for joy and creativity.
Do you think people spend too much time on entertainment nowadays?
Yes, in some cases. With endless streaming services and video games, people can become addicted, neglecting work or relationships. However, this is an issue of moderation. Entertainment itself is not harmful. Overindulgence is.
How has streaming changed the entertainment industry?
Streaming has revolutionized access to content. People can now watch what they want, when they want, without traditional broadcasting schedules. This has increased diversity in content, but it has also led to declining cinema attendance and challenges for traditional TV networks.
Do you think traditional forms of media, like newspapers, will disappear?
They may not disappear completely, but their role will diminish. Print newspapers already struggle to compete with online news. However, they may survive in niche markets, where in-depth analysis and credibility are valued more than speed.
How do you think media can be used for education?
Media is an incredibly effective educational tool. Documentaries, podcasts, and online courses make learning more engaging and accessible. For example, educational YouTube channels can teach complex subjects in simple ways. The media has the power to democratize education worldwide.
Why do you think people are so interested in celebrity gossip?
Celebrity gossip provides escapism and entertainment. People are fascinated by glamour, scandals, and lifestyles that are different from their own. On a psychological level, it satisfies curiosity and creates a sense of connection, even if it's superficial.
Should famous people be good role models?
Ideally, yes, because their actions influence millions of followers. Although they are not obligated to be perfect, they should act responsibly in public. Since fame comes with power, it should also come with responsibility.
How does music influence culture?
Music both mirrors and shapes culture. For instance, hip hop originally emerged as an expression of marginalized groups, yet it has evolved into a worldwide movement that influences clothing styles, everyday language, and even social attitudes. Ultimately, music serves as a universal force that connects people across ages and cultural boundaries.
Do you think video games are harmful or beneficial?
They can be both. On one hand, video games improve problem-solving skills, coordination, and even social interaction in online communities. On the other hand, excessive gaming can lead to addiction, isolation, and poor physical health. As with other entertainment, balance is key.
How can the media promote cultural understanding?
By showcasing diverse perspectives, films, documentaries, and news stories can help people appreciate other cultures. For instance, watching foreign movies exposes audiences to different traditions and values. This fosters empathy and reduces prejudice, making media a bridge between cultures.
What do you think the future of media and entertainment will look like?
I believe the future of media and entertainment will become increasingly interactive and highly personalized. Artificial intelligence will curate content to match individual preferences, while technologies like virtual and augmented reality will deliver deeply immersive experiences. At the same time, the rise of global collaboration will make media more multicultural. Nevertheless, pressing concerns such as data privacy and the spread of misinformation will continue to pose significant challenges.
IELTS Speaking Part 3 Travel and Tourism.
Why do you think people like to travel to other countries?
People travel abroad for a variety of reasons: to broaden their horizons, experience different lifestyles, and escape the monotony of daily routines. Travel satisfies curiosity about other cultures and often provides a deeper appreciation of one's own country. In essence, tourism is as much about self-discovery as it is about exploring new destinations.
How has tourism changed compared to the past?
In the past, travel was a privilege of the wealthy, but today it has become much more accessible due to cheaper flights and online booking platforms. Moreover, tourism has shifted from purely sightseeing to more experiential activities, such as ecotourism and cultural immersion. This shows how tourism has evolved from luxury to lifestyle.
Do you think international tourism is beneficial for local communities?
Generally, yes. Tourism boosts local economies by creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and generating tax revenue. It also fosters cultural exchange, which can break down stereotypes. However, if not managed sustainably, it may cause environmental damage or cultural commodification. The key is balance.
What problems can tourism cause?
Tourism can lead to overcrowding, environmental degradation, and rising living costs for locals. For instance, popular cities like Venice or Barcelona struggle with over-tourism, where residents feel pushed out. Additionally, some cultural traditions may be commercialized or diluted to meet tourist expectations.
Do you think tourism will continue to grow in the future?
I believe so, especially with rising middle classes in countries like China and India. However, the form of tourism may change, with greater emphasis on sustainability, virtual travel experiences, and niche tourism such as wellness or adventure tourism. Growth will depend on balancing accessibility with responsibility.
How do you think travel influences people's attitudes?
Travel broadens perspectives by exposing people to different ways of life. It fosters tolerance, empathy, and open-mindedness. Someone who has interacted with different cultures is less likely to hold narrow or prejudiced views, which ultimately contributes to global harmony.
Should governments restrict tourism in certain areas?
Yes, in some cases, fragile ecosystems like coral reefs or historical landmarks need protection from excessive human activity. Restricting access doesn't mean banning tourism, but rather regulating numbers and ensuring visitors respect conservation rules. Preservation must take priority over profit.
Why do some people prefer package tours?
While others prefer independent travel.
Package tours offer convenience, safety, and time efficiency, which appeal to less experienced travelers. In contrast, independent travel provides freedom, flexibility, and deeper cultural immersion. The preference depends largely on personality, whether one values structure or spontaneity.
How has air travel affected tourism?
Air travel has revolutionized tourism by making distant destinations accessible within hours. It has turned international tourism into a mass industry. However, it has also contributed significantly to carbon emissions, raising ethical concerns about climate change. Thus, while it expands possibilities, it also creates dilemmas.
Do you think virtual tourism could replace real travel?
Virtual tourism may complement real travel, but never fully replace it. Technology can simulate sights and sounds, but it cannot replicate the sensory richness of actually being there, tasting the food, feeling the climate, or engaging with locals. Travel is about human connection, which virtual reality cannot fully provide.
How can tourism help preserve culture?
Tourism can act as an incentive to maintain traditions, as cultural performances, crafts, and festivals often attract visitors. For example, local artisans may keep their craft alive because tourists value it. In this way, tourism generates both economic and cultural sustainability.
What kind of tourism is popular in your country?
In my country, cultural and heritage tourism is particularly popular because of our rich history and architecture. Recently, ecotourism has also gained momentum as people look for more sustainable experiences in natural settings like forests and coastal regions. This reflects a shift in traveler priorities.
Do you think tourism is harmful to the environment?
Unfortunately, yes, in many cases. Tourists often generate waste, disturb wildlife, and consume vast amounts of resources. However, eco-friendly practices, such as limiting plastic use, promoting public transport, and enforcing conservation laws, can reduce the environmental footprint of tourism.
Should people travel less for the sake of the environment?
Ideally, yes. Short-haul flights and unnecessary trips contribute heavily to carbon emissions. People could choose local destinations, travel by train, or even explore virtual tourism alternatives. However, Travel also brings significant educational and cultural benefits, so the solution is not less travel, but more responsible travel.
Why do some people travel for adventure?
Adventure tourism appeals to people seeking adrenaline, challenge, and self-discovery. Activities like mountain climbing or scuba diving push individuals beyond their comfort zone, giving them a sense of accomplishment. It's not just about excitement, it's about personal growth and resilience.
How can countries attract more tourists?
Countries can promote tourism through effective marketing, visa-friendly policies, and infrastructure improvements. Highlighting unique cultural, historical, or natural features also makes destinations more appealing. However, attracting tourists should go hand in hand with protecting heritage and the environment.
What role does tourism play in international relations?
Tourism acts as a bridge between nations by fostering people-to-people connections. When tourists experience hospitality abroad, they often return with positive impressions, which strengthens diplomatic ties. In some cases, tourism can achieve what politics cannot, building mutual trust through shared experiences.
Why do you think luxury tourism is becoming more popular?
Rising disposable incomes and social media influence have fueled the demand for luxury travel. People not only want comfort and exclusivity, but also the prestige associated with such experiences. Luxury tourism has become a form of status symbol as well as relaxation.
Do you think space tourism will be common in the future?
Perhaps in the long term. Space tourism is currently prohibitively expensive. But as technology advances and costs fall, it could become a reality for the wealthy and eventually for middle-class travelers. However, environmental and ethical concerns may slow its expansion.
What is the future of tourism in your opinion?
The future of tourism will likely be shaped by sustainability, personalization, and technology. Travelers will seek eco-friendly, authentic experiences rather than mass tourism. Digital tools will enhance convenience, but human curiosity and the desire for real-world experiences will ensure tourism remains a central part of modern life.
IELTS Speaking Part 3, Family and Children.
How important is family in modern society?
Family remains the cornerstone of social life, even in a rapidly changing world. Although people are becoming more independent, families still provide emotional support, moral guidance, and a sense of belonging. In my view, family relationships are irreplaceable, despite modern trends towards individualism.
Do you think family roles have changed compared to the past?
Definitely. Traditionally, men were breadwinners while women stayed at home. But today, these roles are more flexible. Many women pursue careers, and men are increasingly involved in childcare. This shift reflects social progress towards gender equality.
Should children be given more freedom or more discipline?
A balance is essential. Too much freedom may lead to irresponsible behavior, while excessive discipline can stifle creativity and independence. Ideally, children should be guided firmly, but allowed space to make decisions and learn from mistakes.
Do you think parents spend enough time with their children nowadays?
In many cases, no. With demanding jobs and long commutes, parents often struggle to dedicate quality time to family. While they provide financially, the emotional connection sometimes suffers. This imbalance can affect children's development and sense of security.
How has technology affected family life?
Technology has been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it connects families through video calls and shared media. On the other hand, excessive screen time can reduce face-to-face interaction and create distance within households. It depends on how consciously families use technology.
What qualities make a good parent?
A good parent is patient, supportive, and consistent. They should provide love while setting clear boundaries. Importantly, they must be role models, since children often learn more from observing behavior than from verbal instruction.
Do you think children today are more spoiled than in the past?
In some respects, yes. With greater material wealth, many children are given more possessions and privileges than earlier generations. However, being spoiled is not only about material goods, but also about parenting styles. If parents fail to set limits, children may lack resilience and self-discipline.
How can parents teach children responsibility?
Parents can assign age-appropriate tasks, such as cleaning, cooking, or caring for pets. Encouraging children to make small decisions and face consequences also builds responsibility. Above all, consistent reinforcement and leading by example are essential.
Do you think childcare should be the responsibility of parents alone?
Not entirely. While parents are primarily responsible, society should provide support through affordable childcare centers, parental leave policies, and community programs. Raising children is not just a private matter, it shapes the future of society as a whole.
How important is extended family in raising children?
Extended families often provide emotional security, cultural traditions, and additional care. In many societies, grandparents play a vital role in teaching values and supporting working parents. Although urban lifestyles sometimes reduce contact, extended family remains an invaluable resource.
What challenges do single parents face?
Single parents often struggle to balance financial responsibilities with childcare. They may experience stress from having to play multiple roles at once. Moreover, without a partner, they may lack emotional support. Social services and community networks can help reduce these challenges.
Should children be allowed to make important family decisions?
Children should be involved in minor decisions to build confidence, but major choices, such as financial or relocation matters, should remain with adults. However, listening to children's opinions helps them feel valued and strengthens family bonds.
How can working parents maintain a good work-life balance?
Prioritizing quality over quantity is key. Even short periods of focused attention can strengthen family ties. Employers can also help by offering flexible hours or remote work options. Ultimately, balance requires conscious effort and planning.
Do you think large families are better than small families?
Both have advantages. Large families provide companionship and teach social skills, while small families allow parents to dedicate more resources and attention to each child. Which is better depends largely on personal values and economic circumstances.
How do cultural values shape family life?
In collectivist cultures, family is seen as a unit where decisions prioritize group harmony. In contrast, individualistic cultures emphasize independence and personal choice. These cultural values influence parenting styles, marriage traditions, and even daily interactions within families.
Do you think modern families are losing traditional values?
To some extent, yes. Urbanization and globalization have reduced practices such as eating together or living with extended family. However, values like love, respect, and responsibility remain constant, even if they are expressed differently in modern contexts.
What role do grandparents play in modern families?
Grandparents often act as caregivers, mentors, and transmitters of cultural traditions. They provide stability and emotional warmth. In many cases, their involvement allows parents to work more effectively while ensuring children grow up in a nurturing environment.
Should parents always make sacrifices for their children?
Sacrifice is an inherent part of parenting, but it should not be absolute. Over-sacrificing may lead to resentment or prevent parents from maintaining their own well-being. A balanced approach, where both parents and children thrive, is healthier in the long run.
How do you think parenting will change in the future?
Parenting will likely become more technology-driven, with AI tools for education and health monitoring. At the same time, as societies become more diverse, parenting styles will adapt to new values of inclusivity and emotional intelligence. The core principles of love and guidance, however, will remain timeless.
What is the role of family in children's education?
Family is the first school where values, discipline, and curiosity are nurtured. Even when children attend formal schools, parents reinforce learning through support, encouragement, and example. In fact, parental involvement often determines a child's long-term academic success.